What if I told you right now that you right now in this room, that you right now watching this video, that you have the capacity right now to close your eyes, tilt your head back, and literally blast out of your body, to open up into an expanse of consciousness which is beyond the limited, finite, key brain consciousness that we usually try and interact with the world with, and open up to the divine, infinite light within us and immerse into that light and dissolve into that light and fill it one with the cosmic energy which is pouring through all of reality. And in that place, all your fears, your doubts, a lifetime of ego, of yearning, of frustration, of pain dissolves and melts away. And in that place, you feel one with the earth, one with yourself, one with the human race, one with the world, one with the infinite. And you have clarity and you have wisdom, and it is extraordinary and it is radiant. And what if I told you it doesn't take drugs? And it's not just for spiritual masters. Lo b'shamayim hi, it's not only in heaven for all the great masters to access. What if I told you you could get that right now? One. And then what if I told you that when you opened your eyes, you didn't actually have to lose that? What if I told you that some of that elements of those properties could remain with you even with your eyes open, even as you walk throughout reality, engage in the real world? And that would give you an incredible place of within you of clarity, of strength, of confidence, of seeing good even in challenging times. And when thoughts of fear, of pain, of panic, of confusion want to rise up and overwhelm you, somehow this state, this consciousness just kind of looks at those fears and dissolves it and releases it. So you have faith in yourself and faith in the world, and you feel clearer and stronger, and it strengthens relationships because you feel less threatened in all relationships, less challenged if someone insults you or attacks you or doesn't respect you, because you feel clear and confident. And you see in confusing, overwhelming times, you see, you sense, you intuitively can sense that there's good here, that there's value here, that I'm being guided here. I'm not talking about an abstract religious concept. I'm talking about a mechanism of your consciousness that is with you. And then you could experience that too. And what if I told you that by knowing that place, experiencing that place, learning to maintain that place, which increases your resilience, your sense of equanimity, your sense of balance and harmony, the sense of good, which increases your sense of compassion and goodness. And not only that, but it gave you energy, physical energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy, but that you could control your energy, that you would have energy, you would have strength, you would feel strong and not tired and overwhelmed. And not only that, that there's a positive energies and negative energies. You become extraordinarily energetically sensitive to what depletes me and what engages me, and you would have the power to control that, because that level of consciousness would be feeding me in an intuitive sense, physical energy into my body. And what if I told you, that you could use that awareness, you could use that intuition, you could use that state to release a lifetime of negative, destructive, emotional buildup. The things that we go to therapists for, and sometimes the therapy helps, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes the technique is good, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I spend thousands of dollars in 20 years, and I can't quite make that breakthrough. What if I told you that accessing that state and accessing that light and using that intuitive state and using that CHIUS, you could melt away and release all the fears and all the egos and all the trauma and all the doubt and all the pain, no matter what happened in our history. Now in the present moment, I could myself in my own consciousness shift and release that in real time. And what if I told you that that just doesn't work on a mind level, of an emotional level, it comes to a physical level in your body? That so much as science today is discovering finally 4,000 years later, but it's better late than never, that so much illness and so much of our pains and so much of our physical issues are caused by our psychological state. And that you could use that awareness and that intuition and that light, and you could in real time dissolve away illness, major illness. And what if I told you that you don't just have to take that light down, you can take that light up, you can source into it and learn in an incredible way that many people would consider supernatural to develop outrageous levels of intuition, of insight, to get something called guidance, which means when you're confused in life, you can resource to access source into that place and get answers to questions. Why is this happening? What should I do? That you could massively increase your capacity for creativity, for problem solving, that the idea comes to you and it's brilliant and it's perfect and it's smarter than I ever could be and it's there in my head and you could understand why people are going through their issues and it will come to you. They say, where did you get that from? And you're like, there it is. It just came to me, but I could control that on cue. And if this doesn't sound weird enough to you, so then, my friends, what if I told you that you didn't just have the capacity to access that state yourself and get that energy yourself and feel that confidence and clarity and resilience and build that up, that fears and doubts and imagery that come to you, you can resolve them away with the confidence that comes from that, and not just emotionally heal yourself from trauma and emote blocks and all those things, and not just physically heal yourself. What if I told you that you could do that to other people by just binding your consciousness with theirs, that all those things you could affect in yourself, you could in real time affect those healing in others, that transformation in others, you could knock them into higher states of consciousness? What if I told you by doing that, then you develop such a profound alignment of all the dimensions, all of the levels of our consciousness, the physical, the emotional, the intellectual, the belief systems, such a profound real-time alignment that what would happen is your consciousness would become so superpowered that what you fixed your attention on, you could cause to happen in reality. You could draw towards you that which you need drawing towards you. You could push away in your consciousness and mind alone. That's what you see needs to. And your mind would become a creative force within itself that can literally shape and sculpt your destiny. And what if I told you that wasn't just a technique or a seminar or something cool to do, but it's something you could learn to harness and access and maintain throughout every dimension of your life? Every relationship, every interaction, every point of engagement from morning to night, that was possible to maintain that light and energy, was possible to maintain that intuitive sense of goodness and value, of compassion, that inner state. It's possible to be constantly in real time healing and releasing negative destructive thoughts and negative destructive emotions. It's constantly in real time to be investing energy into my body and engaging that. It's constantly possible to actually maintain that as I'm talking to others and healing and engaging. I'm drawing out everything. I'm interacting with reality, with physical objects in space and time, including animals, including individuals, and to be shifting that power, living with that intuition, gaining that insight, connecting and transforming everything I'm interacting with, people or objects, whatever it is, and to the point where I'm elevating the whole of the world and the whole of myself at any given moment. What if I told you that that's the picture the Torah is trying to paint for us about what you are supposed to be? Not supposed to as in, yeah, right, Rabbi, one day maybe, but that you have those innate capacities for health, for healing, for clarity, for intuition, for spiritual direct contact now within you. And that could be awakened, it could be turned on, it could be crafted and clarified, and it could be maintained.